And we got She-Hulk came out in August and it ran through October. Oh boy, this careful what you say because one way or another somebody's coming after you. Doesn't even matter. So, but She-Hulk, what do you think, Brandon? Zach?
Yeah, I'm back in it. That's all this. I'm struggling between a B and an A. I'm
Wow. Okay.
going to give it a B because okay, so I really, really love this show as a B. Like people when you say love, it has to be a S or A. No, you can love a C and understand it as a C. And I love it as a B. I think Tatiana, other than Amani Villani as Miss Marvel, I think Tatiana Maslany is another great casting for the character. I think she does a great job as both She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters. I like the concept of the show. I like that they went for it. I liked most of the episodes, especially that bonkers finale and the Daredevil episode and the first couple. I think the issue with the show for me and why it's not an A or S is that there's some weak episodes there where I felt like this is not as good as some of the other ones. And the comedy aspect, the story aspect, and the character aspect were just like not as good. Like you have to hit it on one of those three on a weaker episode, and there's episodes that happened where none of them were up to par, and it was like two episodes like that in the 9 episodes, or maybe 3 episodes of the 9 episodes that was like that. But I really enjoyed Madison. You don't know where the S is or the L is, whatever that was. I enjoyed the rest of the supporting cast. I love the world building with the introduction of other mutants. I love Tatiana Maslany's character arc from the shy, I just want to not be seen person, struggling, don't want to have powers, and going through all that and the different layers to that. I enjoyed that this didn't have a villain necessarily, like a direct villain. The fact that the villain was the viewers, I thought that was pretty funny and pretty meta because She-Hulk is a meta character. She talks to us in the comic books a lot of times, and I feel like the writers understood that and was talking to a lot of people. Like there was stuff that they were doing in the show, and then after the episode was done, I'll go on Twitter and the same things that they said that the people was going to say on social media in the show was like verbatim on Twitter, and I was like, you guys understand what's happening.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's like there was just certain episodes that just wasn't funny, and certain times the story didn't feel super focused. So if the unfunny episodes were more funny and or the story was a little bit more focused on those episodes, then I think the show would have been much better. But I enjoyed what I got.
Okay. Brandon? Yeah, I think he's trying to figure it out.
I'm kind of torn between A and B too. This is tough. I'm gonna give this one. I can leave it at B as well. I really liked the. I was really hooked from the moment that they announced Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk. She's a great actress. I've been a big fan since Orphan Black. Anyone who ever questions this woman's acting prowess need only look at that show. So she was a big selling point. I also liked the fact that they touted it and ultimately executed it as a legal comedy. It was because that's exactly what it was. It was like Ally McBeal with a superhero, which I thought was a pretty fun route to take in that regard. I loved the fourth wall breaks. I loved how meta they were with it. I think that one of the places that didn't quite work for me is when it came to Jennifer Walters' character arc, it seemed like they were kind of going somewhere and then they took several steps backward with her. By that I mean it's like, oh, she's kind of coming out of her shell, she's kind of breaking away from the shy little mousy lawyer that she is. Oh no, she's taking several steps backward, and they kind of rinsed and repeated that a couple times as far as I'm concerned. I loved the inclusion of Daredevil. I liked that he was more comic booky, more acrobatic in that regard. I like the little callback to the trademark corridor fights from his Netflix series. They even kind of did that. I thought that was cool too. There were a lot of things about it that I liked, but at the same time, I think where they kind of went wrong or what didn't quite work for me was the character arc of Jennifer Walters at times, and it kind of caused the show a couple episodes here and there to kind of drag. But other than that, I had a really fun time watching it.
Okay. A B. Brian?
I feel like I'm always the bad guy. Like I'm the villain. I'm the villain of this episode.
You're the villain.
I feel like you're
the villain that all the shows need.
Like either you're the hero or you live long enough as a hero to become the villain. And I'm becoming the villain, guys. Because honestly, the show, I love the idea. I love the character. I love the casting. And this whole show should have been 6 episodes. And there are 3 things you could have thrown the hell out and it wouldn't have changed crap. And I disagree about the writing. I think the writing was terrible in a lot of places. It was awful. And I think they didn't do a good job at continuing stories. It ran in place too often. Like it just literally there'll be one show, then the next show be like, did I even need to see this show? Like I could have just watched the next episode, skipped this episode, and had the same storyline. And I want to like it. I want to give it a B, but it's in the C range for me, man. It just didn't deliver where it should have delivered. The character, the casting, I love her, but that's where it kind of stays. Yeah. It felt like she wasn't strong enough, or they didn't write her strong. That's what they didn't write her strong enough to carry this episode, these episodes. And too often they had to bring a cameo. Man, why? I was like, why are you bringing a cameo? Let's focus on her. Let's go on her character arc. Let's go on a journey with her. And she really only did three things, and they did the same 3 things over and over and over and over again, and played the same story over and over and over and over again. And I just didn't like the writing. I think that's just what it is. I love the idea. I love the concept. I love her. I just don't like the writing.
Yeah. Can I do a real quick counterpoint to what he said about the over and over again thing?
Yeah,
I want to hear
it. It is a sitcom, and that is what sitcoms do. They do the same shit over and over for 12 episodes.
Yeah.
So, So I got to say that. I got to give them that. Like they did take the sitcom route.
But you have to give me the story too.
What was the story of Friends?
See, but that's the issue is it's
not Friends.
This isn't just, it isn't Friends. They were trying to go for a sitcom, and if they did, it missed. But that's also the issue too, is for me, like, that's kind of what I was going to get at too, was Seinfeld. At the end of every episode, nothing mattered. It was a show about nothing. That's cool when each episode is like that, and then each episode starts over and it's just the same thing. This one like had through points, but my biggest issue was I loved the last episode. It was great. It was funny. It was super like meta and crazy, but it invalidated the entire season. I didn't need to know anything. I didn't care about the blood thing because it didn't matter. I didn't care about Abomination because it didn't matter in the end. Like you made me watch a season that at the end of the season you told me, hey, none of it matters except for Daredevil and her are gonna bang. That's it. It was like, and then we got a shitty Scar. It was like,
you hated that. Yeah.
Oh, I hated that Scar.
Right.
I hated that Scar. And then getting like them telling you like, oh, this was a concept. I was like, why didn't we get that? That was so much better. Like,
way better.
We got Timothy Chalamet in like a fucking green face, it's like in a bad haircut, so like for me, it's a C.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm surprised that you put it as C because I knew how much you really hated that last scene, Scar. You were pissed.
Oh, I love Scar. I love Scar. But the last episode was really funny. I had a great time with it. But then at the end of the episode, I was like, oh, so everything I just watched, the last 6 weeks, none of it mattered. None of it mattered.
To be fair,
it could have went from episode 1 to episode 6, and that was it.
Yeah, like literally, like some of those episodes didn't even matter.
Even if there was a storyline, like that was the thing, there was no storyline in this because at the end, it was all wiped away. Like Abomination still in jail and then gets taken out by Wong for some reason. And it's just
nothing happened.
Nothing happened, which is fine. if you're Seinfeld and you're a legit sitcom that's on for 15 years or whatever, you know, but it said it was a sitcom, but there's no way it could have ever been a sitcom because you're trying to world build. You can't world build with a sitcom.
Exactly.
You know, yeah, you can't do that. So for me, I'm gonna put it down here in a C. So we're at 2 B's and a C, but
I got a C too. So it's 2 C's, 2 B's, 2 C's,
2 B's. But
2 B's, 2 C's.
I don't know how, Andy, is this your actual rating for it? Because Andy is giving it an A for attorney, but like attorney, which is funny. So that's going to shoot it back up to a B. If Andy's
real, then you know it has to be a B. But I don't.
Yeah, I don't see it. But if Andy's real, we'll put it up here because. I hit the wrong screen.
A said A minus.
Yeah, all right.
That still puts it at B. That still
puts it at a B, which is for me insane because I thought Hawkeye was better than She-Hulk.
I thought Moon Knight was definitely better than She-Hulk.
I did too.
Moon Knight, the character, She-Hulk, the character was so good. I feel like they could have went so many different ways. And the first 2 episodes, just for me, I loved. I thought they could have done anything. It could have been so great.
Yeah, but it could have every episode. Yeah, every episode should have been like episode 6. If they wanted to do a legit sitcom, every episode should have been episode 6. Where here's a problem, or episode
12, right, or 10.
No,
it was 9 episodes.
9
episodes. It was not. So,
yeah,
and that's
episode
why
9.
I thought it should have been 6.
Yeah, sorry.
They should have kicked out 3 of them. They should have kicked out 3 of those episodes because 3 of those episodes didn't even matter at all, and it should have been 6. And then the storyline would have been a little bit better.
It could have been 12 if every episode was like the last episode. Have a problem. Make it not count by the end. Have a problem, make it not count by the end. Cool. Then none of it would have mattered, and then I would not have been on the edge of my seat. Like, why do they want the blood? Who's that? Oh my God, is it the leader? And that was the issue for me. But Andy's giving it a, he's giving it a.
And hey.